So we are discussing about the application of derivatives, and our next topic, that is approximations and errors. Approximations and errors. In this topic, we will discuss about the how to find the approximate value of a function by using derivatives, right? So first of all, we need to understand the concept by the graph. Let us see, this is the coordinate axis and this is a function. Let us see, this is the function. A function is y equal to fx. We may consider a point, a general point on this, and this point can be written as pxy. Let us consider a general point pxy in this. So we can say that this length is called x and this length is called y. Now, what do we mean by f dash x? F dash x is first derivative, that is the slope of the tangent of at this point. If you draw the tangent of this line at this particular point, let us see, this is the tangent. So the slope of this tangent is called f dash x, and we have to find the approximate value. The very little change in this. If we take another point, that is point q, its quantity x plus delta x multiplied y plus delta y, x plus delta x comma y plus delta y. Let us see, this is the point x plus delta x and y plus delta y. What do we mean by this? By drawing this diagram, we can say that this length is called delta x. This length is called delta, this is called x. And this is very little change, very small change in the x axis. This is called delta x. And what do we mean by delta y? If you draw this perpendicular, so this value is called y and this value is called delta y. So this value can be written as delta y. This is called delta y. This value is called delta y. Now, what do we mean by dy by dx? So in this case, dy by dx, that is f dash x. So we can say that this is equal to limit delta x tends to 0. This is nearly equal to 0, that is delta y by delta x, right? So therefore, delta y by delta x can be written as dy by dx. What do we mean by dy and dx? Dy is nothing but delta y and dx is nothing but delta x. There is very little change in dy and delta y. So finally, we have a formula for delta y. You know what is delta y? Delta y is x plus delta x. F x plus delta x, that is called y plus delta y. So delta y can be written as dy by dx multiply delta x. This is very important formula to find a little change of y with respect to the change of x. If we have a small change in x, we can find the small change in y with the help of this formula. It's a very important formula. Now if you have to find y plus delta y, you can add y with this delta y. We will get y plus delta y. Let us see, this is the function. So this value this point can also be written as x plus delta x comma f x plus delta x, that is y plus delta y. So what do we mean by dy? Dy this length. This length is called dy. And this length is called delta y. This is called delta y and this is called dy. This length, this small length is called dy and this length is called delta y. For example, what type of question asked in this topic? For example, if you have to find, question is find the approximate value of square root of 49.5. By using differentiation, we can find this value of square root of 49.5. You know square root of 49 is 7. But we have to take a little change in 49, that is 0.5. So we have to consider a function let fx is a square root function. This is called y equal to square root function. We can take this one, and let x equal to 49, because you know square root of 49 is 7, that is exact. 49 is a perfect square number, and there is very little change in x, that is 0.5 plus 0.5. You know x plus delta x is what? 49.5. We have to find fx plus delta x, that is y plus delta y, because you know that y plus delta y can be written as fx plus delta x. So in this case we have to find fx plus delta x, means f 49.5. So how can we find fx plus delta x? We need to find y plus delta y. And you know this function is y equal to root x. Root 49 is 7. So the value of y is 7 only. Now we need to find the value of delta y only. We need to find the value of delta y by using this formula. You know what do we mean by dy by dx? The dy by dx is called f dash x. So therefore, first we have to find the value of delta y. Since delta y can be written as f dash x multiply delta x. Yeah, this is the formula for delta y. F dash x with dy by dx multiply delta x. So finally delta y can be written as the derivative of this function, root function, can be written as 1 by 2 root x and multiply delta x. Now therefore delta y at x equal to 49 can be written as 1 by 2 square root of 49 multiply 0.5. So therefore delta y finally can be written as 0.5 divided by, what do you mean by root 49? This is 7. So 7 multiplied to 14. So therefore delta y can also be written as 0.5. We need to divide this one, 14, 0.5. So 0.5, then 0, then 50. 14 4 ja, 14 3 ja, 42 and 8, 80. 70. So this is 0.035. This is the value of delta y. This is the value of delta y, 0.035. But we have to find y plus delta y. So therefore, square root of 49.5 can be written as y plus delta y. And what do we mean by y? We can say that this is equal to y. And y equal to root x. It can be written as root 49 and plus 0.035. So answer is 7.035. This is the answer of, this is square root of 49.5. So in this, if you have to find approximate value of any function, any square root function, cube root function or any other function, so first we need to write the value of fx, x, and what is the change in x, that is delta x. For example, if you have to find the value of 26 to the power 1 by 3, cube root of 26, you know 27 is a perfect cube number. We can find that value. Let us see. If we have to find the value of, find the approximate value of, the question is cube root of 26. Find the approximate value of cube root of 26. So we have to consider function x and delta x in this. So therefore, let function fx equal to what? Cube root of x. That can be written x to the power 1 by 3. This is called 26 to the power 1 by 3. This is fx. And what do we mean by x? This is 27, because 27 is a perfect cube number. And delta x can be written as minus 1 in this, because you know x plus delta x, that is 26. Right? And we have to find fx plus delta x, that is y plus delta y. So now, therefore, we can find delta y. And the delta y can be written as f dash x, that is dy by dx multiply delta x. So therefore, delta y can also be written as f dash x, means we have to differentiate this function 1 by 3 multiply x to the power minus 2 by 3 multiply minus 1. So delta y can also be written as minus 1 by 3 multiply x can be written as 27 to the power minus 2 by 3. So delta y can be written as minus 1 by 3 multiply, this is called 3 to the power 3 to the whole power minus 2 by 3. So delta y can also be written as minus 1 by 3 multiply 3 to the power minus 2, that is 1 by 9. You know 3 is cancelled with 3 and 3 to the power minus 3 1 by 9. So this is called minus 1 by 27. So in decimal we can write delta y is minus 0 point something, and then we can find y plus delta y. What do you mean by y? Y is called 27 to the power 1 by 3, that is 3. So you need to subtract this value from 3. You will get this one, cube root of 26, right? So by this method we can find every approximate value of any function. We can also solve the word problem related to this. If we have very small change, we have a small change in some particular value, right? Now, let us discuss some more questions related to approximate value. You can find each and every question of cube root, fourth root and so on. Now, the question is find the approximate value of the function f 2.01 where fx is equal to 4x square plus 5x plus 2. 4x square plus 5x plus 2. Now it's very simple question because function is already given. In this case we need to find the function, but in this case function is already given. So this is the function fx, right? And we have to find x and delta x. X equal to 2 and delta x equal to 0.01. According to f 2.01, we can find x plus delta x, that is 2 plus 0.01. So these are the value of x and delta x. So we need to find the value of delta y, that is f dash x multiplied delta x. So we can write it as 8x plus 5 and multiply delta x, that is 0.01. So what do we mean by 8x plus 5? We can put xi 2, we will get 16 plus 5, that is 21, multiply 0.01. It can be written as 0.21. This is the value of delta y. This is the value of delta y. And we have to find the value of y plus delta y. So therefore, y plus delta y can be written as fx plus delta y, that is 0.21. What do you mean by fx? We can find it as f2. So we can write 4 multiplied 2 square and plus 5 multiplied 2 plus 2 and plus 0.21. We'll get 16 and plus 10, 26 plus 2, 28. It becomes 28.21. This is the value of y plus delta y, right? So now, we need to solve some word problem also related to approximate value, approximation and error. We can find the question related to errors. Like the question is very simple, that is, if the radius of a sphere is measured as 9 centimeter with an error of 0.03 centimeter, then find the approximate error. Approximate error in calculating its volume. We have to find approximate error in calculating value. No need to find exact value. Just we have to find the error in volume. So in this case, if the radius of a sphere is measured as 9 centimeters, so we can say that r is equal to 9 centimeter with an error. So delta r is equal to 0.03 centimeter, right? Find the approximate error. So we have to find the function of volume. Approximate error in what? Volume. So volume of a sphere can be written as 4 by 3 pi r cube. So now we have a function r and delta r. We have to find the value delta v only. Delta v is what? Delta v is approximate error in calculating the volume. That is called delta v. No need to find v plus delta v. So how can we find delta v? You know, delta v is equal to dv by dr. That is the derivative multiplied delta r. This is the value of delta v. Delta v what? Delta v is approximate error in the volume. So delta v can be written as, we have to differentiate this 4 by 3 pi multiply 3 r square and multiply delta r equal to 0.03. So it can be written as 4 by 3 pi multiply, we can cancel 3 with 3. So we can write it as 4 pi multiply, what do you mean by r? 9 square multiply 0.03. It can be written as 4 multiply 81 multiply 0.03 multiply pi. This is the value of delta v. Simplify this. 324 multiply 0.03 pi. You can simplify this one. You will get delta v. And you need to write the unit of delta v, that is centimeter cube. Centimeter cube is the unit of delta v. But delta v is very small changes of volume. Right? So these are the questions related to approximations and errors. I think you got the point. You got the concept for approximation and error. How to find the approximate value and the approximate value and the error. We need to solve one more question. That is the last question of this topic. This is find the approximate value. Find the approximate value of sine 22 by 14. Find the approximate value of sine 22 by 14. How to find the approximate value of this? What do you mean by 22 by 14? What do you mean by 22 by 14? You know 22 by 7 is called what? Pi. 22 upon 7 is pi. So it can be written as sine 22 upon 7 multiplied 2. That is pi by 2. Very simple question. No need to apply differential. No need to apply differentiation in this. You know the value of sine pi by 2. That is 1. Very simple question. If you have to find approximate value, you can find the exact value of sine pi by 2. Because you know 22 upon 7 is called pi. It becomes pi by 2. And you know sine pi by 2 is what? Sine pi by 2 is 1. Very simple. But if we have to find the approximate value of cos 11 pi by 36, then we need to solve to find this. We have to find the approximate value of cos 11 pi by 36. So how can we simplify this? We can say that it is cos, it can be written as 12 pi minus pi, that is 11 pi. So 12 pi minus 36 by 36 is called pi by 3 minus pi by 36. Right? If you take 36 as LCM, you will get 12 pi minus pi, that is 11 pi by 36. So now this is the value. We have to find cos pi by 3 minus pi by 36. You can find this value because you know x equal to pi by 3 and delta x equal to minus pi by 36. X equal to pi by 3 and delta x equal to what? Minus pi by 36. And function is what? Cos x. You can say that in this question, let fx is equal to cos x. This is the function. And what are the value of x and delta x? Pi by 3 and delta x can be written as minus pi by 36. Right? So you can find the value of delta y by the formula delta y equal to f dash x multiplied delta x. Yes, we can find this value delta y, and after finding delta y, we can apply the formula y plus delta y. You know y is what? Fx, that is f. pi by 3, that is cos pi 3, because you know the value of cos pi 3. So we need to subtract it by pi by 36. By this method you can solve this to find the value of cos 11 pi by 36. Now by this method you can find the approximate value of any square root function, cube root function, trigonometric function, logarithmic function, exponential function, inverse trigonometric function, and so on. If you differentiate the function, you can find the approximate value, right? So these are all about approximations and errors. Very simple and very small topic. Now we will discuss the next topic in the next class. Thank you.